Okay, so let's dive into what is, without a doubt, the greatest financial magic trick ever performed. It was a deception so huge, but also so incredibly simple that it fooled the entire world for decades. And it was all orchestrated by just one man. So that's the big question, isn't it? How did Bernie Madoff pull off the largest Ponzi scheme in history? As we're going to see, this wasn't really a crime of complex financial wizardry. Nope. This was about something much more basic. The simple and incredibly powerful magic of human trust and deception. First things first, you have to understand the magician himself. To get how the trick worked, you have to get the man behind it. See, Bernie Madoff wasn't some shadowy outsider. He was a titan of Wall Street, sitting right at the very center of the financial universe. Now let's talk about the first part of any magic trick, the pledge. This is where the magician shows you something ordinary, something you trust completely. For Madoff, that ordinary object was his exclusive investment fund. It looked safe, it looked solid, it looked absolutely perfect. And Madoff wasn't just credible, he was practically financial royalty. I mean, his reputation was built on these pillars of trust. The guy was the former chairman of the NASDAQ, for crying out loud. His fund was super exclusive. You could only get in through word of mouth. It wasn't just about trust, you see. It was about social proof. If all the smartest guys in the room were investing, you'd feel like a fool to question it, right? That reputation was the bedrock for the entire illusion. And here's the hook, the crucial part. Investors weren't just buying into a fund. They were buying their way into an elite club. This is where the psychology gets really fascinating. It wasn't just about making money. It was about the powerful fear of missing out. Once you were on the inside, you just didn't ask too many questions. It created this kind of willful blindness. The desire to believe was just so strong that it steamrolled any doubts. Okay, now for the second act of the trick, the turn. This is the part where the magician takes that ordinary thing and makes it do something extraordinary. For Madoff, that meant producing returns that seemed to completely defy logic. And Madoff's fund did exactly that. It did something no one else could. It churned out these incredibly smooth, consistent, positive returns. We're talking around 12%, year in and year out. Didn't matter if the market was booming or totally crashing. Madoff's fund, it just kept going up. In this slide, just lays it all out there. It's pretty stark, isn't it? On the left, you've got the illusion, that beautiful, steady, impossibly smooth climb of Madoff's returns. And on the right, well, that's reality, the chaotic, volatile, up and down storm of the actual stock market. They look nothing alike, not even close. You know, this was the question that stumped everybody. How on earth was he doing this? How could one guy just defy the fundamental laws of the market? Was he some kind of trading genius? Did he have a secret strategy that no one else could possibly crack? And now for the final act, the big reveal, the prestige. We're about to pull back the curtain and show you the shockingly simple secret behind this whole illusion. For years, people were on this huge hunt for a brilliant, complicated answer. You had regulators, competitors, journalists, all poring over market data, trying to reverse engineer his genius. But they couldn't find it. Everyone just assumed it had to be some level of sophistication that was way over their heads. You know, a high-tech algorithm, a black box that could see the market's every move before it happened. The truth, though, was a whole lot simpler. There was no secret strategy. There was no genius algorithm. There wasn't any trading at all. The secret behind the most sophisticated, exclusive investment fund on Wall Street was absolutely nothing. And this slide just breaks the whole con down perfectly. It's the classic Ponzi scheme, just blown up to a scale that's almost impossible to imagine. So let's walk through it. Step 1, take in billions of dollars from new excited investors. Step 2, put all that money into one single checking account. Step 3, when an old investor wants to cash out their profits, you just pay them from that account, using the new investor's money. And the final most important step of all, never ever actually buy a single stock. The magic trick was just a bank account. But then 2008 happened. The whole financial system seized up. The constant flow of new money just stopped. And all at once, too many people wanted their money back. The magic trick ran out of fuel, the illusion shattered, and the true cost was finally brutally revealed. $65 billion. That was the paper value of the fraud. A number so big, it's hard to even wrap your head around it. But that number, it doesn't even begin to capture the human cost. These were people's life savings, university endowments, charity funds, inheritances. Everything gone.
And you have to wonder, where were the regulators? Well, the SEC actually investigated Madoff several times, but his credibility was like a force field. They were looking for some super complex fraud, so they couldn't see the simple one happening right under their noses. It was just a colossal failure of oversight, fueled by the same exact aura of prestige that fooled his investors.
So the Madoff illusion is over. But his trick, when you boil it all down, wasn't really about finance. It was about human nature. It was about exploiting our deep-seated desire to believe in something that seems too good to be true. And that leaves us with one last, pretty important question. What illusions are we choosing to believe in today?